My brother got arrested. I got grounded for stressing our parents out. Let me preface this by saying, I did nothing. Like, actually nothing. And somehow I got punished harder than the person who literally got arrested. Okay, let's rewind. I 19F, live with my parents and my younger brother 18M. We're a regular middle-class family in a regular suburb where the wildest thing that ever happens is someone's dog pooping on the wrong lawn. My brother and I were close when we were kids. He used to call me his cool big sister, even though I'm only a year older. Taught him how to ride a bike, how to shave the peach fuzz on his face without looking like he was attacked by a weed whacker, and how to flirt poorly with girls over Snapchat. We were tight. Emphasis on were. Somewhere in the past year, he started turning into a walking red flag. Like not in a he's a rebel, wears leather jackets and has deep thoughts kind of way. I mean in a he's skipping school, vaping indoors, and hanging out with dudes named Kyler who sell fake IDs kind of way. Parents tried to trust the process. You know, the whole he's just figuring himself out speech. Which, okay, fair. But you can't exactly self-discover your way into Best Buy with sticky fingers and come out the other end as Gandhi. Which brings me to what happened last weekend. It was supposed to be a chill Saturday. I was in the kitchen making a smoothie banana oat milk PB chef's kiss when my mom's phone rang. She picked up, went quiet, and then let out this long, tired oh no. You know the one? The one that tells you someone just died, or worse, your little brother just got caught stealing a freaking iPhone from the mall. He got caught. Red-handed. Full on, we have security footage of you shoving it down your pants kind of caught. He was taken to the local police station. Not jail, but the hold him until his mom comes to cry and sign paperwork kind of station. I didn't even go. I stayed home, cleaned the kitchen, vacuumed the living room, kept my mouth shut, because I knew better than to get involved. But apparently that was also wrong. Fast forward a few hours later, the three of them come back, my mom looking like she aged 10 years, my dad looking like he might Hulk smash the fridge, and my brother with that smug little, well, at least I'm not in jail, smirk on his face. And then it happens. My mom turns to me and goes, "We need to talk about your attitude lately. You're grounded for 2 weeks. No driving, no going out, no phone after 9. Me, I'm sorry, what? She goes on some weird tirade about how I've been cold and unhelpful and stressing everyone out with my energy. My energy? My vibes were apparently so toxic they had to preemptively punish me in case I got any funny ideas about turning into Bonnie to my brother, Clyde. I tried to argue calmly, reasonably, like a human with working brain cells. Me, I literally didn't do anything wrong. I've been home all day. I haven't even seen him. Dad, exactly. You didn't even ask what was going on. You didn't offer to help. You just kept making your smoothie like nothing happened. Now making smoothies is a felony. What actually killed me is when my mom said, dead serious, "We just can't handle another child going down the wrong path. It's preventative." I lost. Me. I've never been in trouble, ever. I've never skipped class, never lied, never stole anything, never even snuck out. How is this preventative? What exactly am I being prevented from doing? No answer, just go to your room, we'll talk later. Cool. So yeah, I got grounded for existing, for making a smoothie, for not being involved in a crime. At first I thought, fine, I'll ride this out in silence. 2 weeks of quiet is better than getting into another screaming match with people who clearly think I'm one vape hit away from Grand Theft Auto. But then, I overheard something. And I really wish I hadn't. A couple of days later, I was doing laundry. Not sneaky eavesdropping, just regular, oops, I forgot to separate my darks from lights laundry. My brother was on the phone, his door was open, because of course the concept of privacy doesn't apply when you're bragging to your dumbass friend about your criminal record. And this is what I hear verbatim. "Dude, it would have worked if you distracted the guy like we said. I had it in my hand, but you bylayed and the camera got me. Bro, next time we're bringing those anti-tag things from Amazon. Yeah, the magnets. Next time." The words hit me like a punch to the throat, so this wasn't some spur-of-the-moment oopsie. It was premeditated. They had a plan. He wasn't sorry. He was mad he got caught. I sat on the stairs for like 5 minutes just, staring at nothing. I was grounded, because they thought I might do something stupid. Meanwhile, my brother, over there plotting his next Ocean's 11 sequel with Kyle or Chad or whoever the hell. I didn't plan to tell anyone, really. I was gonna take it to the grave, but then dinner happened. We were all sitting at the table, eating spaghetti like the nuclear family we pretended to be. My mom asks my brother if he's learned his lesson. He shrugs and says, "Yeah, I guess." Then immediately asks if he can borrow the car next week to hang out with friends. I laughed, not like a polite chuckle, a full-on wheezing, "Are you actually serious right now?" cackle, and that was the match. My dad put down his fork like it offended him. What's funny? Me, oh, nothing. Just wondering if Kyle's gonna be the lookout again or if you guys are rotating roles now. Dead silence. Mom, what are you talking about? Me, you know the whole "we'll bring magnets next time" plan. The one he was bragging about on the phone, in our house, with the door wide open. Brother, dude. Dad, is that true? Brother, because he's not very bright. She's just mad she got grounded. Me? Oh, I am mad. But mostly I'm shocked you guys grounded me for having bad energy, while this idiot is literally planning round 2 of Grand Theft Best Buy. Cue the screaming. It was like watching a slow-motion car crash. My dad yelling, my brother yelling louder, my mom crying, spaghetti going cold. And me, I just got up, grabbed my plate, and walked to my room. No door slam, just peace. 2 hours later, I heard a knock. But it wasn't my mom or my dad. It was Grandma. Now, to clarify, this woman is 4'11" of pure steel. The kind of person who sends birthday cards with cash and also calls Fox News entertainment for insecure men. She doesn't yell. She doesn't guilt trip. She just exists in this aura of don't mess with me. I didn't even know she was coming. Apparently, Mom called her mid-meltdown. Classic move. She sat on my bed, handed me a piece of cold garlic bread, which honestly felt like a hug in edible form, and said, "All right, tell me everything." So I did. She didn't interrupt. She just nodded slowly, her eyes going full Terminator scan mode when I got to the part about the preventative grounding. And she said, "Well, this is stupid." That's all. No dramatic monologue, no Shakespearean wisdom, just pure unfiltered grandma logic. 10 minutes later, she was in the living room, calmly reading my brother like a bedtime story. "So you're telling me you stole, got caught, lied about it, and your sister got punished, and you're still sitting here asking to borrow the car?" He tried to talk. She raised one hand. He shut up. She turned to my parents. "You owe your daughter an apology, and your son needs to start walking everywhere until further notice." Boom. Roasted. So here's the thing. I didn't expect my brother to suddenly morph into a functional human being overnight just because Grandma roasted him like a Thanksgiving turkey. But the next few days were weird. He didn't say much. He didn't slam his door or blast his music or call me a narc. He just existed, quietly. I thought he was planning revenge. Like I half expected to wake up with toothpaste in my shoes or something juvenile like that. But nothing came. No prank. No stupid TikTok. Just silence. Then on Thursday night, he knocked on my door. Which was already weird. Knocking. From him. That was like a dog politely asking permission before jumping in a puddle. I opened it and there he was. Hoodie up. Hands in pockets. Classic, I'm gonna pretend I'm chill, but I might actually be about to cry energy. "Hey," he said, "can I talk?" I stepped aside and let him in. He stood in the middle of my room like it was a foreign country, and he didn't speak the language. "So, I didn't mean for you to get in trouble," he started, eyes on my floor. "I know," I said. "You just meant to get away with it." He winced. "Yeah, I know, I thought it was funny until it was." There was a long pause, not dramatic, just tired. "Grandma's mad," he added. I shrugged. "She's not mad, she's disappointed." He groaned. "That's worse." We both laughed, just a little. It felt weird, like remembering you used to be friends with someone who now mostly speaks to you through slammed doors and passive-aggressive breakfast choices. And he looked up. "I'm sorry." Not a lot, not some big emotional TED talk, but it landed. "I mean, you didn't have to say anything at dinner, but you were right. I was being a dumbass." I blinked. "Wait, did you just say I was right? Is that legal?" "Shut up," he said, half smiling. "I'm not doing it again." And for the first time in months, I almost believed him. Keyword almost, because of course, the universe saw us having one decent sibling moment and decided, let's ruin that. The next evening, our parents called a family meeting. Like with an actual email calendar invite. Subject line, family discussion time. The emoji was threatening. I came downstairs expecting the usual, "We're worried about your future. We're a team. Let's all be respectful." Instead, I walked into therapist cosplay 101. The living room was rearranged. Chairs in a circle, tissues on the coffee table, scented candle. Dad holding a clipboard like he was about to facilitate a corporate trust building seminar. "We just want to open the floor for sharing," Mom said, like she hadn't grounded me over vibes 4 days ago. I looked at my brother. He looked at me. We both silently agreed this was going to suck. I started with the classic, "This is a safe space, no judgment." First red flag, then came the feelings wheel. I wish I was kidding. Mom actually printed out a feelings wheel and passed out copies like we were doing group therapy in a cult-themed summer camp. "I'd like everyone to pick a color and describe how they felt this week," she said, smiling in a way that said I'm hanging on by a thread. My brother went first. He picked guilty and confused, which honestly shocked me. I picked frustrated and resentful, because duh. And Dad chimed in. "We feel sad and disappointed, but also hopeful." And he leaned forward and hit us with the line, "We've decided to try a new system." Oh no. "Each week, you'll both write down one thing you did that helped the family and one thing you want to improve." I looked at my brother. He was mouthing the word bro like it was a prayer. I said, "Can I write down that I didn't commit any crimes?" Dad didn't laugh. Mom said, "We're serious. We need to rebuild trust." And they brought out the jars. Yep, trust jars, one for each of us. Every time we contribute to the household or make good decisions, we get to put a marble in the jar. I wish I was making this up. When the jar is full, Mom said brightly, you'll get a reward. Is the reward freedom? I asked. The reward is earned, Dad said, like he was the final boss in a parenting video game. My brother and I just nodded. We knew fighting it would only make things worse. So now we have marble jars. I'm 19, he's 18, and we have marble jars. So we had the jars. The jars were real. They sat on the kitchen counter like little monuments to our family's complete emotional breakdown. Mine had 3 marbles after I did the dishes without being asked, didn't sigh dramatically when asked to walk the dog, and apologized for my tone. I'm not kidding. My tone, my brother, 0 marbles, nada, zilch. He stared at that jar like it had personally wronged him, but here's where it got weird. Instead of rebelling, he went full NPC mode. Helping set the table, complimenting Mom's cooking, folding towels. It was like watching a raccoon in a suit pretend to be a butler. I knew something was up, and then came Sunday. That's when Kyle came back. Now, if you don't remember Kyle, he's the friend who bylaid during the iPhone heist and left my brother to get caught on camera. You'd think that kind of betrayal might end a friendship. Not with teenage boys, apparently. I walked downstairs and there they were, in the garage, whisper-laughing next to the old beer fridge like it was high school all over again. I didn't even hear what they were saying. I didn't need to. It was the energy. The smirking, the sideways glances, the way Kyle's backpack looked suspiciously full for someone just stopping by. I went back to my room. I didn't want to deal with it. I was tired of being the family surveillance drone. But Grandma was over for her usual check on the freak show visit. Grandma doesn't miss anything. She sat at the kitchen table, knitting something that might have been a hat or a revenge plan, and the second Kyle walked out, she gave my brother the look trade. What was in the bag? He blinked. What bag? Don't insult my intelligence, boy. I changed your diapers. I know a lie when I hear it. He hesitated. Just snacks. Don't finish that sentence. I don't want to catch a charge for what I'm about to say. I was in the hallway listening, popcorn in hand. Grandma had become my favorite show. Then she turned her head slightly and said, "Come in here, sweet girl." Damn, she caught me. I entered the kitchen like I was testifying in court. "Tell me," she said, "has this boy learned anything?" I looked at my brother. He looked back at me, eyes wide like I was holding the remote to his parole. "Honestly," I said. He folded towels and complimented a chicken casserole. But the second Kyle showed up, it was like watching a Disney villain remember who he really is. My brother groaned. "It's not like that." Grandma nodded slowly. "I see, so you're back to playing dumb with the boy who got you caught." "He's not." "Let me stop you right there," she said. "If someone throws you under the bus, you don't invite them to drive next time." Silence. She turned to me. I see your marble jars looking quite full. You know what happens when you're the good one, don't you?" I blinked. You get ungrounded. You get used, they hold you up like a trophy to guilt the broken one. And that's not love, that's manipulation dressed up as parenting." Boom. I didn't even know I needed to hear that until I did. Like something heavy fell off my shoulders, and she wasn't done. "You're not their emotional support daughter, you're a person. If they can't see the difference, I'll be happy to come back and teach another workshop." And she stood up, patted my head, and walked out with the elegance of a retired mob boss who still has connections. After she left, my brother just muttered, "Why is she so scary?" And I said, "Because she's the only one who actually sees what's going on." That night, things were tense. Mom was back to smiling too hard, like the tension was Botoxed into her face. Dad kept saying, "Let's just keep the momentum going," like we were part of a failed startup trying to secure funding. But I was done. I stopped putting marbles in the jar. I stopped pretending I was fine, and I started watching Kyle like a hawk. Because if this was going to go south again, I wasn't going to be collateral damage. Couple of days passed and Kyle started hanging around more, not a lot, but enough that I noticed a pattern. He never stayed long, always had some errand, some deal, some pickup. He'd flash his signature crooked smile, throw a casual "what's up, sis" at me, and then vanish like a cockroach when the lights come on. And my brother, he was off. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but he wasn't fully in it. He wasn't laughing the way he used to when Kyle was around. He wasn't making dumb inside jokes or acting like a wannabe gangster. He was quieter, almost guilty. And one afternoon, I heard them arguing in the garage. It wasn't loud, but it was sharp. I didn't catch everything, just snippets through the half-closed door. "You said it was done, bro. I didn't sign up for this, man." "Don't get soft on me now. You owe me." Then footsteps. Fast ones. The garage door slammed, and I peeked out just in time to see Kyle marching down the driveway, muttering to himself. My brother stayed behind, sitting on the old camping cooler, head in his hands. I waited a minute, then walked in like I just happened to be passing through. "Rough day at the office?" I asked, casually leaning against the wall. He looked up, startled, then groaned. "How long were you listening?" "Long enough to know Kyle's a walking red flag, wrapped in a hoodie." He didn't answer, just rubbed his eyes. I'm not doing it, he finally said. I told him I'm out. I froze. That wasn't what I expected. You're out of what exactly? Doesn't matter, he said quickly. I thought I owed him, for not ratting him out. But he's doing stuff I don't want to be part of. Like illegal stuff, he paused, then nodded once. I let out a slow breath. So what now? I don't know, he said. I'm trying to keep it low, not make noise. If I tell Mom and Dad, it's a whole thing. I just want out without blowing up my life again. And weirdly, I got that. He wasn't being dumb, he was just stuck. Later that evening, Grandma showed up. Again, she had that look, purse tight under her arm, lips tighter. You look stressed, sugar, she said to me. I always look like this now, she smirked. Your mother used to make that same face every time I asked her about her report cards. We sat down at the table, just the two of us. She sipped her tea, then gave me a long look. Something's not right, I nodded. Your brother's scared. Another nod. And your parents? Still assigning emotional homework and rewarding us with marbles. She didn't laugh. That's it, she said, standing suddenly. Enough's enough. What? I gave them a chance. I held my tongue. I even tolerated the jars. But if they don't start acting like grown-ups, I will. She grabbed her phone and scrolled with scary precision. What are you doing? Group chat, she said. The big one. Cousins, Aunt Lori, the pastor, even the dog groomer. We're going public. Oh my God. I'm kidding, she said barely. But I'm giving them one more chance, one meeting, one ultimatum. And sure enough, that night she summoned my parents. No email, no emojis, just a stern old school. We need to talk. I sat across from her like kids in the principal's office. Your children are drowning, she said. One in guilt, one in resentment, and you're sitting there measuring marbles like it's a science fair project. Mom looked like she might cry. Dad opened his mouth, but Grandma raised a hand. You love them, I know, but you've turned this house into a courtroom. Everything's punishment or proof. That's not parenting, that's damage control. My brother came in midway. He stood in the doorway, pale. She's right, he said. I'm trying, I'm really trying. But it's hard when you treat me like I'm already guilty of the next thing. And he looked at me, and it's worse when she's the one who pays for it. I almost lost it, not from sadness, from finally being seen. It got quiet, real quiet. Then Dad said, we don't know what we're doing. None of us do, Grandma said. But the answer isn't jars, it's honesty, start there. The jars disappeared the next morning. I came downstairs to find the counter scrubbed clean. No marble jars, no gold stars, no passive-aggressive checklists about earning trust. Just an empty space where the shame used to live. It was weirdly quiet. Mom stood at the sink, not scrubbing but just staring out the window, coffee in hand. Dad was flipping pancakes. Pancakes, not just the boxed kind either, real ones from scratch, with blueberries. I sat down slowly, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Morning, Dad said, voice awkward like he was trying on sincerity for the first time in years. You, hungry. I nodded. We thought, Mom started, maybe we could start over a little. No apology, not really, but it was something. My brother showed up a few minutes later, eyes puffy from lack of sleep, probably. He gave me a look like, are we in a simulation? And honestly, I didn't blame him. We sat there, eating in silence for a few minutes. No one mentioned marbles. No one said, let's make better choices. It was just us. It felt fragile, like holding a soap bubble. Later that day, Mom pulled me aside. She was fidgeting with her bracelet, a nervous tick I hadn't noticed until I started looking at her like a person, not just a mom-shaped authority figure. I know we've been unfair to you, I blinked. And I know we expected you to be okay because you always were. Pause. But that wasn't fair. You shouldn't have to be okay all the time just because your brother was. Wow, therapy really is contagious. I didn't say anything right away. I just nodded. Sometimes silence feels more honest than words. The next few days felt off, but in a hopeful way. Like a cast just got taken off, and your bones are trying to remember how to move again. Dad started asking us things like, what do you need from us? Which, for a man who used to yell, because I said so, like it was a court ruling, was wild personal growth. Even my brother seemed lighter. He didn't have to fake smile or overcompensate with chores. He still made mistakes, like forgetting to take the trash out or burning eggs, but no one acted like it was the end of the world. I started breathing easier. We weren't magically healed, but we weren't pretending either. And that felt revolutionary. One night, I was scrolling TikTok in bed when I got a text. From Grandma, how's the regime treating you, General? I laughed. Banana Republic is now a functioning democracy. Good, but if they slip up, you know who to call. Ghostbusters. No, child, me. I have dirt on all of them and an active Facebook account. God, I loved that woman. I put the phone down and lay there staring at the ceiling. I thought about how weird families are, how fast we assign roles, the rebel, the good one, the fixer. and how hard it is to rewrite the script once it's set. But maybe, just maybe, we'd start a rewrite. A week later, it rained. Not a little drizzle, the kind of rain that makes everything feel cinematic and weirdly significant. I was sitting in the garage, sipping tea and avoiding homework, when my brother came out. No words, just a long sigh as he sat on the cooler across from me, just like before. The same scene, but this time, no tension, just quiet. "Still your favorite hiding spot?" I asked. He smirked. "Yeah, hasn't failed me yet." We sat in silence for a while, listening to the rain hit the roof. "You ever feel like you're just the wrong character in the right family?" he asked suddenly. "What do you mean?" "Like everyone's got their role. Dad's the calm one, Mom's the worried one, you're the good one, and I'm just the mess." I looked at him for a second. He wasn't fishing for compliments. He sounded genuinely lost. "You're not the mess," I said quietly. "You're just human, same as me, you just got caught first." He laughed, but it was a soft, broken sound. "I wish I was more like you." "No, you don't," I said, "because then who would be you?" He raised an eyebrow. That sounded deep and fake at the same time. "Thanks, I've been practicing my TED Talk voice." He shook his head, smiling. "You ever think they love you more?" That caught me off guard. "All the time," I admitted. "But lately, I think they just need me more. You, they love, me, they lean on." "That sounds exhausting." "It is," he nodded. "Sorry for being the reason you're tired." I reached over and flicked his forehead lightly. "Shut up. I'd rather have a tired version of our family than a fake perfect one with jars." He smiled again, this time for real. We sat there until the rain stopped. That night, I wrote something down, just for myself. Not for a school project, not for Instagram, not for anyone else to see. Just something I didn't want to forget. "Dear me, the you now and the you later. Your family is messy. Not the cute, sitcom kind of messy. The real kind. With unfinished apologies and weird power dynamics and emotional marbles in actual jars. But you're trying, all of you, even the ones who suck at showing it. Your brother isn't your responsibility, but he is your story, part of it, maybe the complicated part, but not the worst one. Your parents are people, sometimes wrong, sometimes clueless, still learning. You're allowed to be angry, but don't let it calcify into resentment. And you, the girl who got grounded for doing nothing, you didn't deserve it. But you grew from it, and one day, when this all feels far away, you'll be glad you wrote it down. Because the marble jar is gone, but the lessons, they stick.